Hello everyone, Serenity here. I want to welcome you to Down Home Crypto. Now in this episode, we're going to research a project that's still in its preliminary phases, being drafted, being completed as we speak, but they've already announced that the grand prize for Season 1 is $250,000. Yeah, that's what they're saying. So we're going to dive into it, we're going to get to know what there is to know so far, and we're going to find out the what, the who, and the why. So stay tuned and we'll get all that information. First, if you would please do me a huge favor, take a moment, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click that bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. Some of this information can be time sensitive. Most importantly, as always, please go out there, talk to a friend, a coworker, a family member. Let them know there is another way in finance. And they don't have to be college educated or tech savvy or rich. They simply have to have the desire to change their life and the courage to follow that dream. And they too can join us on this great crypto adventure. So without further ado, let's go learn about NXUS War. Now, as always, I want to be honest and transparent, so I'll let you know this is a paid sponsorship. Now, I will give you my honest opinion, what I think is good, what I think is bad, but in the end, don't listen to me, don't listen to anybody else. You are responsible for your own investment and participation in these projects, so do your own research, make your own choices, and in the end, know that it rests with each of us individually to decide what is or is not right for us. So, with that said, let's go find out what NXUS War has to offer. So whenever I jump into a new project, there's always three questions I'm looking for the answer to. What is this project and what are they trying to bring to the world that it can utilize? Who are the people behind this project and can we trust them? And three, is this the right project for me? And is this the right project for you? Well, we're going to find out those answers here. First of all, to understand what NXUS War is, essentially it's an NFT-based space exploration and combat game. And the whole goal is to come out the other side at the end of the season with all 5 Nexus Spheres. Now, if you can attain the 5 Nexus Spheres by the end of the season, that's the grand prize of $250,000 in BUSD. Yeah, sounds simple, right? Well, not quite so simple. Now, to start with the foundation of this, we've got to understand the Nexus token and how that's going to be distributed and how it's used within the game. So, in the invite-only presale, 20 million Nexus tokens are going to be sold for a reduced amount. So the first 2 million are going to sell for $0.0075 per token, all the way up to $0.0095 per token to conclude the invite-only presale. Then it'll go to the public presale, which is $0.01 for the next 90 million Nexus. Finally concluding with the last 40 million Nexus sold on the DEX. Now this is a limited amount of Nexus. They're not going to keep printing, so this is all there's ever going to be is 150 million. So please understand that is a capped amount like it says right here. Now also special note, there are no taxes, there's no buy tax, there's no sell tax, none of that. This is a deflationary token. There's no staking, and pretty much everything within the game has a burning function. So we're going to get into that as we go through each piece of this. Now, right off the bat, the first thing I notice is this first section right here, the 175,000 of BUSD, is going solely to the dev and marketing. Now, that made me nervous. I mean, to start off, like, you're taking 175,000 straight to the dev and marketing before we do anything. Okay, that was a little unsettling to me, but I figure if we can answer question number 2, the who, and also decide at the end that yes, in the end, this is worth taking that risk, I could see where creating a game and investing that amount of money and all that for the programming and everything going into it could utilize that. Now, it is important to note that 50% of this is vested and the other 50% is at the end of Season 1. So it's not like these guys are getting a payday right up front and immediately can run off to a foreign country. Plus, if we do our due diligence, they can't run away anyway because we're going to find them because we know who they are. So my concerns lowered, but that was something that jumped out as soon as I saw this and went, whoa, wait a minute. Okay, so I want to share that with you. But that kind of breaks down the Nexus token. Now let's find out how we're going to use that token and how it's going to be utilized and how it's going to be burnt. Now, the first place we're going to cover is the NFTs to play the game. So, first of all, there are 5 planets that you see here on the screen. Now, each one of these planets is going to cost 1 million Nexus token. Now, depending on the price you get your Nexus at, that's anywhere from $7,500 to $10,000. So this makes for a sizable investment, but there's some definite benefits for this. Now, special note on this is that this is a 75% burn on that purchase price. So right off the bat, 75% of the purchase, that NFT, those tokens are getting burnt. And 25% of that is getting locked in the treasury. So that's one of the deflationary aspects. Now, also on each of these planets will contain 1 Nexus Sphere. That's where your 5 Nexus Spheres in the game exist. 1 per planet. So you got 5 planets, 5 Nexus Spheres. As we know, you get all 5 Nexus Spheres, you get $250,000. So this is one of those, it's a big investment up front, but the gameplay itself is really going to start to cover how that return is. Now, also, it's special note that this planet is not just for Season 1. Once you own an NFT, that is for the entire life of the game. So it's not like you buy it once and at the end of one season, if you don't make your return back, you're out of luck. No, you actually have multiple seasons. So that's why these NFTs are so limited, because it's not just a one season event, it's a life of the game. And there's going to be a new season, and each of those seasons are going to last about a month long with a couple weeks in between. So you can see how this can really play out to a long-term investment. So it's going to take a special kind of person to see beyond just the today. And that's one thing when I did the private interview with the founder, he doesn't want people in this that are just there for a quick pump and dump. He wants people who believe in the game, believe in the artwork, believe in the concept, and are here for the long haul. So straight up, if you're a pump and dump kind of guy, this is probably not the project for you. Because the truth is, you're probably not going to get your return right off the first season. But over the long term of multiple seasons, yes, I could see this being a very beneficial program in the long run. But you have to decide for yourself. So I know for a lot of us, the planets are just out of the realm of possibility, but I do know that there are already a couple projects looking at purchasing a planet to invest their protocol into. That way it gives their project returns and this project returns. So it's a win-win situation. But for players like me and you, there's the jump ship. Now this is the actual playing piece you're going to utilize to explore and to do the combat in space to acquire those Nexus spheres. Now there's only a limited number of 500 of these, and these are AI generated. So they're really a neat concept, but this is where you got to start to believe in it, because it's a super limited amount if it's something you want to get into. And also remember, this NFT is not just for Season 1, this is for all the seasons to come. These are just the OG model. Now, do they have a special perk? I'd say jump in the AMA with Yabonks to see if he gives us a little more information, or jump in the Discord, and I'll put the link in the description down below, and find out the information as it's unraveling. Jump in the community, put out your 2 cents, and hey, let's let them know that we want a special perk. If we get it in the very beginning of this, as early supporters, we should absolutely get one extra perk, whether that be an extra weapons bay or something like that. Now, like I said, there's only 500 of these, but depending on what you get your Nexus token for, they're going to cost 100,000 Nexus. So that's anywhere from $750 to $1,000 per jump ship. And being a limited amount, I'm guessing these are going to go pretty quick, but only time will tell. Now, during the season gameplay, there's going to be essentially 2 phases, an exploration phase and a combat phase. And that's important to note, and we'll get into that during the gameplay session here in a minute. But during the exploration phase, you can get perks specifically for that phase of the season. Okay, and those are called Gearbox NFTs. So essentially, you're going to mint a crate, which is running at 10,000 Nexus, or roughly $100, depending what you get your Nexus for. Inside that crate will have one particular perk. Now, that can be anywhere from a Soul Sail to Hyperon Power Cell, Planetary Scout, Interstellar Beacon, Quantum Drill, or Cosmonium Scanner. Now, each of these have a percentage they're going to boost, and it says up here, boosting your chances by up to 350%. Now, the exploration phase is essentially to find that Nexus sphere on the planet. So by getting some of these boosts, adding them to your jump ship can really amp up the possibility to be the one to find that Nexus sphere. But also there's a special aspect. These are sellable on the open market. Now, they are sellable both in the crate before it's open, and then after you open the crate as the perk itself. So I can see an entire marketplace built on just the perks of this game alone. Even if you're not a player, you could still mint these NFTs, turn around and sell them on the open market, or open them, find the perk, and if you happen to get the highest one, who knows, you might be able to double or triple your money that way. So there's a lot of gamification built within this protocol, depending on the type of player or type investor you're looking to be. But I did notice that the quantity and the math wasn't quite working out here. So I'm going to tune into Yabonks AMA, because I've got some questions myself for the founders that I want to ask. I was like, there seems to be a riddle going on here, but I'm not sure what it is. But special note also, once again, these NFTs, the purchase price that, 75% is burnt and 25% goes to the treasury. Another boost to the ecosystem. I like that. Now, like I said, in the game there are 2 phases, exploration and combat. Well, this set of perks is for the combat phase, and they're called siege boxes. And it says they can increase your attack chances by up to 725%. And they include things such as a particle accelerator, a void stake missiles, ion disruptor, warp scrambler, singularity bomb, and dark matter cannon. But each of these are going to be a perk that you can attach to your jump ship. So if you do get in and get a jump ship, you're probably going to want to get some of these perks to go with it to play within the game. Now, also, these can still be sold on the open market, both in the crate or out of the crate as the perk itself, and they're going to cost roughly about $100, same as the Explorer perks. But once again, There's some math riddle going on here. And once again, I gotta urge you, tune into the Yabonks AMA. Let's ask those questions and find out, because running my numbers, unless I got really bad at math, there's a puzzle here. So jump in the Yabonks AMA or jump in the Discord and ask the team themselves, and let's find out what riddle is happening in space. Now that we've covered all the pieces to play the game, let's cover the gameplay itself. So each season is going to have essentially two phases within it, the Explorer phase and the Combat phase. Now it says right here, the Exploration phase, players will have 72-hour window to prepare, equip, and gear their ship to start exploring the planets. Now there are 5 different planets, and every ship gets 1 free exploration per planet. But you can buy as many explorations as you want at a cost of 5,000 Nexus per exploration. So that's about $50 to go back to that planet every time. And the whole thing for exploration is you're looking for that Nexus sphere. Remember, there's 1 Nexus sphere per planet. So the whole goal is to get those Nexus spheres, and if you get all 5, you get the $250,000. Now this is where it really becomes lucrative to be a planet owner, because the owner gets the entire amount, every bit of Nexus that's purchased for extra explorations, those go straight to the planet holders, okay? So there's no taxes, nothing like that. If you buy an exploration for 5,000 Nexus to go search this specific planet, that planet holder gets that 5,000 Nexus. So that's where being a planet holder really can be a great long-term revenue stream. And that's why we got some protocols already asking, how do they purchase a planet? Now, as a ship owner, of course, we're going for the grand prize, but that's not the only thing on these planets. Hidden on each individual planet is this breakdown of BUSD. So each one has 1 stash of 5,000 BUSD, 2 stashes of 2,500, 5 stashes of 1,000, 10 stashes of 500, and 40 stashes of 250 BUSD. So that gives you a great opportunity to search that planet, not only get a Nexus for the grand prize, but you could grab one of these other pods of cash just lying around in there. So I could see that really being worth it if I were to spend $50 in BUSD to do another search of that planet, and if I came out $5,000 richer, that's a pretty good deal there. But like I said, this is a long-term play, and once you get that NFT, you can continue to go back and search these planets season after season after season. Now this is where the Gearbox NFTs are really going to come in handy. If you were to open that Gearbox and you got one of those perks attached to your ship, that's going to improve your odds to find that Nexus, to find that BUSD. But as we know, like any exploration, there is a chance to come up empty. So sometimes just the experience is worth it. But it's special note to understand that the exploration phase is entirely decided by Chainlink. It's 100% random, but your odds are increased by getting those gearboxes and the perks within. So take that into account. The more you invest into your ship to make it better, the more likely you are to come out on top with all the goodies. Okay, now the exploration phase is ended, it's time to get to the real fun, the combat. This is where we get to change out all our perks that were for exploration and put in our weapons perks, because we're going after the Nexus spheres. Now, a few things to understand right off the bat. During the combat phase, the only ships you will be able to attack are the ones that actually hold a Nexus sphere. So you're really putting a big target on your back by having that Nexus sphere on you. So I highly recommend, if you do get a Nexus sphere, make sure that your perks are geared up for the best defense you possibly can. But how's this going to work? Well, essentially what's going to happen is all the ships are going to be able to attack the ship holding the Nexus, but they're going to have to pay 5,000 Nexus per attack. Now, the trick of that, 75% of the Nexus that is paid for the attacker goes to the attackee. The other 25% gets burnt. So it's actually pretty lucrative to hold a Nexus, have great defenses, and just have people keep attacking you. Because if you got better defenses than they've got attacking weapons, you can sit there and make a lot of bank just by getting attacked. So it's kind of neat. Now also, once you do get a Nexus, you have a chance to go stealth mode, which means you are invisible and unable to be attacked for 24 hours. So, kind of neat, and no one else on the map can see you. During that time, you have an increased chance of successful attacks against other ships that have a Nexus. Now, it does cost more. It's a 10,000 Nexus per attack when you own a Nexus. And instead of that going to the defender, 100% of that gets burnt. So to give you an idea of my game theory is, I go out and start attacking, and I keep picking up more perks and better, and I get the best configuration I can. As soon as I get a Nexus sphere, that's when I go stealth mode. And that gives me a 24-hour window to go all out and really try to acquire all 5 Nexuses. Now I know that I've only got that window with increased odds. So I'm going to put everything into that big once-in-a-lifetime blast to get them all at once, because getting all 5, $250,000. So I think we pretty much exhausted question number one. We understand the gameplay, how this is going to work. But going to the white paper, it's still being written right now. So there's not a whole lot of information I can gather there. But there are a few key points I want to point out real quick. So let's go take a look at that real fast. So running through the white paper real quick, we're just going to kind of skim through the places that have been filled in yet. Because remember, this protocol is still in development. So I highly urge you to join the Discord, get to know the team, and actually help to form this protocol. Give him suggestions, ideas, because I know Keith and he will absolutely love to hear any ideas we have. So it says right off the bat, contracts will be deployed at mainnet. Okay? Meet the team. So Nexus War is founded by Oxvarius, the director, otherwise known as his Terran name, Keith Bussey, co-founder at Metabrews. He has built a reputation of trust and accountability in his career and in this space. Catch him speaking next at the NFT New York City conference in 2023. Or you can also catch him on Yabonk's AMA that's going to be coming out tomorrow. Also says full team profiles will be added very soon. In the meantime, feel free to check us out, ask any questions in our Discord. Like I said, the link's down below for that. The official links right here, the website, the white paper, Discord, and Telegram, and those links will be there as well. Security and audits, and it says all contracts will be audited prior to going live on mainnet, and the audit links will be made available at the time. They are going to utilize Certec for their audits, which I think is absolutely amazing. Chainlink, its integration will also be audited before going live. So they're really focused on the security. And as you can see, Keith has a lot of experience in this space and knows how critical that security really can be. So next I want to point out the roadmap. As you can see, we've only got 4 checkboxes done. This is really, really early. And that's just for the Rise. That's not even until we hit Season 1 down here. So as you guys note, the 3 questions to me are really super critical. The what, the who, and the why. Now, I didn't feel that so far in this project, I got enough of question 2, the who. So, for a special treat, I've invited Keith here to ask him the questions directly. So Keith, thank you for joining us, buddy.
Absolutely, Serenity. Or do you prefer Jim on these calls?
Either one. You can call me Jim or Serenity. I answer to both. I'm really easy there.
All right. You'll be Serenity Jim then. But yeah, happy to be here. Happy, you're interested in the project, checking it out, trying to give your viewers what it's about. A little bit about me, nothing to hide. I've been in the space for years and speaking at shows, being involved with a lot of things in public. So yeah, my name is Keith Bussey. Go by Various. It's been my nickname online since, I don't know, the days of the BBSs in the early 90s. So definitely a lot of folks know that name. It has nothing to do with League of Legends or characters in other places. And yeah, I'm the co-founder of Master Brews, which is a company that does a lot in the space on the gaming side and on the tech side for a couple of years now. And I am the sole founder of Nexus War. Yeah, that's me.
Sounds good. So Keith, I'm going to ask you straight out, okay? And as you read this in my contract, it's something I do transparently, and I always do a private review, but I thought it'd be nice to do this straight out. So can you assure us in any way that you are going to absolutely not rug pull, not do anything nefarious, not put any weird hidden code in the contract to pull back a dead wallet or anything like that?
I can assure you with my personal word, but on top of that, I also believe in don't trust people, trust code. So essentially, anyone who wants to look at the code can see what we're saying is true. It will be audited by Certec, who have a great reputation in the audit space. They cost a little more than some, but that's what you get with it. So yeah,
quality thoughts, absolutely.
Hopefully that assures you.
Perfect. Well, Keith, hey, I thank you so much for your time, buddy. And I want to get back to your busy day. I know you got a lot going, but I really wanted to get you on screen so the viewers can see what you got going and what you're building.
Yeah, anytime. And thanks everyone for watching.
So I hope you enjoyed that opportunity to get to meet the founder, Keith. And to me, I think that's really important to be able to get the founder on there, to see the face, to see the name. And like he said, he's got a LinkedIn profile. We could always go in and look at him and talk to him and jump to the Discord. You'll find him there constantly. So I think that covers question 1 and 2 pretty well. Now, question number 3. See, that's a tricky one because NFT collectors, it's really a niche market. But I love what Keith is building here. I like that he's got a very limited supply. It's not, 10,000 of these things out there. No, only 500 jump ships. That's going to make these things extremely valuable if this takes off. Now, that's not one thing that I know or you know because none of us can tell the future. But he's got a foundation of making protocols work. He's got the connections to take this to the next level, to comic book level, animated series level. I could see a lot of great things coming out of this, and this being the absolute foundation for that growth and that acceleration. So me personally, I think I am. I think I'm going to save up my coins, try to get some Nexus early, and get myself at least a jump ship and participate. Now, how far am I going to take that? Well, only the future knows. But you know what? I would hate to look back and say, I interviewed this guy, I talked to this guy, I had the opportunity, and I said, nah, I'll wait, see what happens, and can never get a jump ship again. So, me personally, yes. I think I'm going to get into Nexus War. I'm going to give it a go, and I'll keep you updated as time progresses. So I want to thank you very much for your time, and for sticking with me to the very end. I want to let you in on a secret. Keith has donated 2 NFTs to give away to the viewers. 1 Siege box and 1 Gear box. So I'm going to create a Gleam Contest, and a week from today, I'm going to go in and draw 2 winners, 1 for each NFT. So if you choose to participate in this adventure, you just might get a little bit of a jump ahead. So definitely look in the description down below. I'll put a link to that Gleam Contest down there. So as always, thank you so very much for your time, and until next time, have a good night.